Little did I know. From Shadow to Light. My Story. Chapter 2. Turbulent Teenage Years.
Battenkill, or Be Killed. The summer Jim Burns almost didn't survive. Jim's canoeing classes were held that summer at Little's Lake in Menands, New York, a small spring-fed lake tucked between Route 378 and the Albany Rural Cemetery. The lake had long been a hidden gem, a quiet spot where kids could swim, fish, and learn the fundamentals of watercraft without the risks posed by larger, wilder bodies of water. It was the perfect training ground, and we had a lot of fun splashing around, practicing strokes, learning rescues, and gaining the skills we would need to safely and confidently navigate the swifter waters of the Battenkill River. That summer's grand finale was the much-anticipated canoe trip down the Battenkill River, which starts in Vermont's Green Mountains and winds its way west into New York before joining the Hudson River. The Battenkill is legendary in the Northeast for its scenic beauty, known for its crystal-clear water, gentle pools, and long riffles that are ideal for canoeing and fly fishing alike. The section we paddled was a roughly 27-mile stretch, beginning in Arlington, Vermont, a picturesque town whose history stretches back to the colonial era and served briefly as Vermont's capital during the Revolutionary War. The Battenkill itself is part of that historic landscape, having shaped the economy and culture of the region with its steady current and cool waters. The drive up into the Green Mountains was nearly as memorable as the river itself. I was lucky enough to ride in the back of the pickup truck that hauled all the canoes, my job being to make sure everything stayed tied down, especially during stops along the way. Of course, that was a time when riding in the back of a truck was perfectly normal, something that would never fly today, but felt like an adventure then. As we drove, we hugged the winding Battenkill, passing several of its famous covered bridges, rustic farmsteads, and stunning views of the Green Mountains. The river shimmered alongside us, whispering of the adventures ahead. When we finally launched from Arlington, the river was brisk and alive, its flow quicker than the calm waters we'd trained on. This was no still pond. This was a real test of all the skills Jim had taught us at Little's Lake. I remember feeling a mix of excitement and nerves as we pushed off and let the current take us. Dougie Baker and I alternated from bow and stern at various intervals along the river where we could make the change. This gave us both great experience in the two positions. But the highlight of the trip, and a story that would be retold for years whenever my sisters and I crossed paths with Jim Burns, was the infamous incident where Jim himself nearly met disaster. My sister, in a moment of panic or misjudgment, steered their canoe directly into a fallen tree that jutted out over the river. The Battenkill's current surged there, almost rapid-like, bouncing off rocks and carrying debris. Jim barely had time to duck low under the branches. The canoe capsized spectacularly, sending both him and my sister into the chilly, fast-moving water. Jim's version of the story, which he delighted in embellishing over the years, made it sound as if he'd narrowly escaped death, and perhaps in that moment, it really did feel that way to him. Debbie and Doreen, my sisters, always seemed to enjoy retelling it too, laughing at Jim's dramatic flair. That trip down the Battenkill was more than just a canoe outing. It was a rite of passage, an experience that defined my summer of '78 and left an indelible mark on my childhood adventures. Thank you for spending this time with me, the Pussycat Wizard. These moments we share, whether in shadows or in light, are threads in a much larger story, one I'm honored to tell with you beside me. As always, the journey continues. The next chapter subsection is waiting, and I'd be honored if you'd walk with me a little further down this road. Until then, keep the wonder alive, and I'll see you in the next episode of Little Did I Know.
In the quiet of my mind, a tempest rages. Mother's convictions, the script of ages. Her voice a beacon in the fog of my prose. David, she chides, in secrecy it goes. Beneath my breath, a silent plea. Mother, I hear you, but can you hear me? Your savior, your faith you implore, I embrace. Yet within, I wrestle with my own grace. Torn between the divine and my truth. A son's love, a personal sleuth. Have you surrendered? You persistently ask. In your version of Jesus, should I bask? Jane, your call for aid. He's different, you say, a label pre-made. In your eyes I see the fear of a son's path, not straight but clear. I stand at the crossroads of self. My identity not just a book on the shelf. Mother, your love I'll always hold dear, but my journey is mine. Let this be clear. Cross path